Hi, we're back, and we have a guest that I've had before, and I'm always hoping to have him more, Dr. Allan Hedberg, and who also has his own show, Teach Me to Parent, and we're going to talk about that and some other things.
Sure.
Hello,
Hey,
hello,
nice to be back with you, Carol.
Good to have you back, Doctor.
Good to visit.
Yes, and I see you've come up with another
book.
Thing.
This is book number 11.
Oh, 11.
For me. So came out just last week. And
we're right on top of it.
The interesting thing about it, I'm a psychologist, as you know, and I see people every day in my office, and I encourage people to write their life story and to journal on a day-to-day basis, or on themes, or on topics, or on events and issues that happen in their life. And, you know, and I said to myself, why don't I write a journal for people to journal? So I did that. And here we have it. It's called My Journal, a place to park my life story.
Look at this.
And we all have a life story. You know, Carol, we all live a life every day.
That's for
sure. In the process of that, our story is being written. And at some point in life, we write our own biography, like you're doing at the present time. But this is a way to kind of keep track of your life on a day-to-day basis and keep track of the events that have happened to you, the traumas, the stresses, the successes, people you have met, the achievements you've had, the accomplishments you've experienced, lonely days, happy days. You know, we have all that in our life. That's
for sure.
And that's part of our life. And it's a way to kind of put it on paper and just store it.
Right.
You know, for history.
Yeah.
For your family and for your friends to read, or maybe you don't want anybody to read it, and that's your own personal story.
I think it's important in every family for the elders to write their lives down, and all of the things that they did that their grandchildren would love to know. They have most of us have
You're
no
right
idea
on target.
what our grandparents
Exactly.
did.
Kids, grandchildren, and grandchildren to become.
Yes.
You know, need to have a history of family, kind of a legacy, a storyline, the values, the morals, the experiences, the successes, the achievements of a family. And, you know, kids down the line will not know that unless somebody puts it on paper and keeps it.
Yeah, but you see, in the old days, like, you know, back with the Pilgrims and stuff, they didn't need to do that because they talked to their children. They told them things. They had educated them into what life is like.
Exactly.
And we're too busy now to do that. I'm sure we'd like to do it, but we get too busy with a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, you know, you talk about that. You know, there are lots of people who've journaled over the years.
Oh, yes.
You know, and I did a little study on it in terms of who has actually journaled. And I came up with a list of almost 50 people, you know, of famous people. You know, who have journaled over the years. And I just included a few of them. And let me just tell you, you know, Madame Curie, you know, Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Charles Darwin, Lewis and Clark, Mark Twain, Stephen Covey, Leonardo da Vinci, Winston Churchill, Pascal. I mean, these guys have all journaled, and they have obviously very important people. And I think they've taken time to reflect. And when you reflect on what you've gone through and your experience of the day, you learn. So journal is a learning experience. It takes an experience of the day, gives you a chance to think about it, put it into some perspective, and then make maybe some plans for the future, and then just record it so that you can come back and review it at another time.
Maybe some of the younger people may not really understand what journaling is. So tell them exactly what it is, journaling, rather than just writing something down.
Sure. Most people just have a piece of paper and they just write down an experience, some of their feelings and some of their thoughts of an event. Somebody offended you and you may just want to tell your side of the story.
That's for sure.
And a journal is that. It allows you to tell your story, your side of the story. And you write that on a piece of paper. Well, what I've done is provided the paper, you know, provided a place for you to write that. And on certain themes, like let's say the themes of trauma, you go through a trauma experience. I talk about trauma a little bit. I write a little paragraph or two about trauma, and then ask you several questions about the trauma that you went through. What was the trauma? How did you feel? What did you experience? What might you learn from that? You know, what was the horrible thing about that? Give you several questions to think about, and then go ahead and write. write what comes to your mind, what comes to your heart, just what your feelings are.
And it's
And
right
just put that
there.
on paper.
That's fantastic.
And that's journal number 1, day number 1. And tomorrow you may have a very positive success experience. So I have a place there where you can write about your successes experiences. And you may have a question like, tell about that success experience and who was involved in it. Why was it successful? Why did it not turn bad? What you're going to learn from it? How are you going to grow from that? And then go ahead and write. Write your feelings, write your thoughts, write your experiences, write whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah, that's
Journaling
great.
is a free-flowing expression of feeling, a free-flowing expression of thoughts and hopes and dreams that you have, for the future. There's no one way to journal. You might do it by points. You may just want to list something. You may want to draw a picture. Some people can express themselves through drawing.
Sure.
Or you may just want to write a paragraph or 2 or 4 or 5 or 6. However it comes to you.
But that really makes me and enjoy this is that it's right there together. You don't have to go and say, "Oh, what did I do? And where did I put that?" And I wrote something good the other day and I forgot what it was.
Yes.
You got it right,
It's right here. And
yeah.
if you and people journal on computers, but then you have to take the computer with you. You have to get it out. You have to write. It's a little bit more cumbersome. This you can take on the plane with you. You can take on a trip with you. You can just take it to the office.
Oh my gosh.
Carry it in your car. When you have moments, just pick a theme, pick an experience, and write on it.
And this is brand new, right?
Came out last week.
Last week. It couldn't be more new than that.
Yeah.
Tell them how to get this wonderful
Well, Amazon
book.
would be a good place, to pick it up,
Yeah,
or on
yeah.
my website, www.booksbyhedberg.com, and you can pick it up there as well. And but Amazon is usually where people kind of go for that. But I would be very happy to have you just call my office.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
244-3260. 244-3260. Call my office and we'll get you one.
okay, yeah, it's fantastic. I'm so glad you came in about
Well, that's
this.
good,
And
yeah.
I've missed you. It's
And I
been a
encourage
long
you to
time.
journal.
Well, I'm doing my autobiography, and that's everything that happened in my life is journaled.
It's the same idea. And you
Yeah.
grow from that. And I want to tell you this. There was a study done with journaling in prisons. So they had, in prisons, these guys have these journals, and they were encouraged to write and journal in the course of the prisons became quieter, they became less violent, and they became more of a productive place to be, and they were starting to turn people out.
Oh, my
That didn't come back. Lives were changed,
My
through a
gosh.
journaling process. So that's just one experience. We've used it with school kids. We've used it in marriage counseling. We use it in personal development. Journaling is used in a lot of different ways to improve your life, improve your own circumstances, and learn from it so you have a better future.
Well, you've got that wonderful mind that could bring all this together into
Well,
one
thank
book.
That's been fun, and I would encourage you, even if you don't use my book out there, I would encourage you to journal.
Yes.
Even if you just take a whole piece of paper and just start journaling. It's a good personal experience, a personal growth experience, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
you
Nice to
came
be with you
in.
again.
And
Yeah,
do
yeah.
come in. You don't take so long for you.
Well, I got to
come
write
in.
another book, to
Oh,
get.
okay. I'll give you time to do
Takes
that.
me a little while to do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.